Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of From the Fourth Line. My name's Emma, and I'm joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, Marcie.
Hello.
Hello. Look, we don't like. I'm like about to go like, oh, we can get started talking about some hockey games. We had no hockey games to talk about.
No hockey games, which
No
is
hockey
weird,
games.
and I don't like it.
It's weird. I don't think we've ever had an episode of this show where we haven't had a single hockey game to talk about.
No, it's a first.
Because even over the All-Star break, we had the All-Star game. That's still a hockey game.
We still had hockey.
We still had hockey. It's been weird. I've been getting really deep into the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Like, I've been going so far deep down that rabbit hole. Hey, I'm into season 3.
Oh my god.
These rich women from Beverly Hills have taken over my brain space. It's so fascinating. There's like one of them is now, I think she still is, but a partial owner, like a minority owner in the Golden Knights. And another one is Yolanda Hadid. I just got to the season where Yolanda Hadid joins the show, and there's an episode where just like 17-year-old like Gigi Hadid is like just there doing like a guest shoot or something.
Wow.
It's great because it's like all of their homes are just like peak like mid 2010s like rich people like home decorating with like too much crown molding and really, really ugly like upholstery.
Oh. Beautiful. Incredible.
So many warm wood tones.
Oh no.
You can picture it exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, it's like I'm there.
That's what I've been doing. With I've also been watching quite a bit of baseball, but that's all I've been doing.
I've had a lovely few days of packing all my things up for the summer to go home, watching a lot of movies, including Miracle a worrying amount of times.
Hey, maybe that is the hockey we talk about.
Well, if you want me to talk about Miracle for an hour and a half,
nope. We have other things to talk about that aren't Miracle. Before you start like waxing poetics between the comparison of Jim Craig and Joseph Wool.
Look, if the comparisons are there, who am I to ignore them?
True. Yeah, I guess we can start talking about, I guess we'll talk about, I don't know, Dallas, because that's my first note on here. They did Dallas and New York had their locker cleanouts both on the same day. They were both on Tuesday. And the only note I have from Dallas's locker cleanout is Joe Pavelski retirement.
Yeah, that's all I've got to. I'm like, because like it was I was like, yeah, everyone looks sad. They're all like, yeah, we'll be back bigger and better next year. And it's like, and then we've got the elephant in the room.
Yeah. Joe Pavelski retirement. That like, I don't like it because he's been in the league for 18 years, meaning I have not known an NHL without Joe Pavelski. And I think this is a conversation we've had before on the show about how it's like players you always watched in the NHL, not necessarily like if they were on your favorite team, but just they were always there.
Yeah.
You always watch them. Like start to retire. It's a little bit sobering. Also, especially because, then I start thinking about like other players that are getting up there And then it looped. Then in my head, I mentally looped to like Sidney Crosby retirement.
I knew you were gonna say that.
And I think I would have to take like a week off of like school or work or whatever I'm doing at the time to like get over them.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey Emma, how you holding up? And you're like, I've not left my bed in 3 days.
I'm just like stressed. I'm
Starving.
just like have like one of those I finally found the club size bag of like the President's Choice branded, so it's like a whatever like in-store brand of the salt and vinegar kettle chips. It is this bag that is about this big, club size. So it's massive, not really should be purchased by a single person. Finally, and for the longest time, I could not find specifically the salt and vinegar flavor. I could only just find like the plain regular flavor of chips. I found the salt and vinegar flavor. It was $8.97 in my local Loblaws, which $8.97 is what you would pay for like 2 regular bags of just like the normal size like Miss Vicky's. I'm saying words to brands. Marcie has no idea what I'm talking about.
You're saying brands, and I'm sat, and I was really worried when you said $8.97, and then I was like, your dollar is just really shit. Never mind.
Yeah, $8.97 is about 4 pounds.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah,
I like
no.
sat doing the conversion in my mind, like, okay.
Essentially divided by half is what you have to do at the moment. I'm learning that now more than ever. But yeah, no. Anyways, I'll just be sitting that and mourning having my ice cream and mourning the loss of Sidney Crosby. But that is not today. We're not there yet.
No, I will say, if you want to talk ice cream, I had some of the most incredible ice cream
Is
in the
this
world.
this raspberry cheesecake thing you told me about yesterday?
It's like a lovely, it's a gorgeous like vanilla. I would show you it, but there's none left. It's like this gorgeous, like it's vanilla, and then it's got like raspberry, like almost like a raspberry sauce, like all through it, and then it's got like cheese. It's got like biscuit crumbs. It's like the cheesecake base. Emma, it's gorgeous. It's the best thing I've ever eaten. So if anyone finds themselves in Lidl at the moment.
Oh yeah, let me just pop over to my nearest Lidl. That is not something that exists here.
Which I think is tragic. Everyone should have a Lidl.
But yeah, more talk about Joe Pavelski. So I am just looking at his like just base stats, like not even advanced stats. I'm just looking at like games played and like goals, assists, and points. Like I'm just looking at that. He has probably had one of the most like consistent careers as an NHLer. This man has played full seasons since 2019. I want to say like he has not missed a game since like the 2019-2020 season. It's like because I think he hasn't straight up in the regular season has not missed a game since then. But also as well like so he hasn't played like full like 82 game seasons because it obviously includes like the 2 shortened pandemic seasons. But yeah,
it's wild.
That's crazy. This man is old. Like, you know, we like Joe Pavelski's talked about it in the same way as like Mark Giordano.
It's like,
and I think Mark Giordano had a very we call Mark Giordano Peepaw.
That's everything you need to know.
I do think though, like the thing is like this season, this is the first year that we've seen like kind of like a downturn trend in Marcie and his play, right? Whereas I don't know, I don't think we ever really saw like a downturn in Joe Pavelski's play. He's just, anyways, wish him and his family all the best in retirement. I think he's moving back to Wisconsin, which like sucks for Wyatt Johnson, has to find a new place to live.
And then that's one of my points. It's just like, where's he gonna? Where will the child live?
I don't think. Yeah, that's the thing. He's gonna have to find like a new place to live. I don't know. I mean, Stankoven as well also has to find a new place. I saw like Stars fans were suggesting maybe like, what if those two guys live together? That sounds like an absolute disaster. I'm sorry.
That's like, that's every parent's nightmare.
Every parent's nightmare. Yeah. But yeah. You know what? One day I will have the courage, because like a friend of mine went to the same high school as Wyatt Johnson. One day I will ask him for his like grade 9 yearbook.
It's like, hey, so like absolutely no reason for this at all, but do you like just happen to have your grade 9 yearbook lying around? Just because.
Just cause. I have no idea if he still has it or not. I don't even know if he got one in the first place, but yeah, I guess we could talk about like the New York Ranger side of things as well. I don't know. I'm trying to remember if there were like any like major injuries that were talked about in terms of like the Dallas Stars. And I don't remember any.
So there can't have been anything like too major, because I'd have seen, if there was, I'd have had like half my timeline in tears.
Oh, here we go. What I have one here where it says just Chris Tanev said he hurt some tendons in his ankle in the Edmonton series, but no surgery is necessary. We'll heal in a few weeks. I think he blocked so many goddamn shots. No surprise.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to think. I've not seen anything about anything too.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. I will say it was really funny though in like their run, in the Stars run, like my dad being every time I'd turn on the game and I was home, and I think that was primarily like, it was like I was mostly home in their series against the Avalanche. My dad would be like, are the Stars really that good? Like he was surprised by the fact that the Dallas Stars were that good. I'm like, Dad, yeah, like they have a lot of depth through their roster, especially in that forward group. And I think they do have like potential.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I had them going to the finals in my bracket. They do have potential. I think they have some brilliant goaltending. Jake Ottinger and Scott Wedgwood, and their forward group is ridiculous. But yeah, and then for the Rangers, they had a little bit of a longer list of injuries. One of them, Ryan Lindgren, had a cracked rib that he'd be playing with since Game 6 of the Carolina series. Because
she's insane.
Not surprised that man was falling apart. Like, Jimmy Vesey, his season was ended because of a separated shoulder. That
ouch.
It was like something where I think he said something where it was like, you know, I would have played through it, but like doctors were like, hey, don't, which is such like the most hockey player.
It's like, type of shit. And you're like, nah, I'll be fine. Or just like ice it for a bit, and they're like, no.
Scott Jarvis. Scott Jarvis played with a separated shoulder. Didn't he? I was like, like a sling. I don't. Hockey players, man. And then this is the most crazy one, and it was kind of like misreported at first. Was Jacob Trouba's ankle, where it was like at first it thought that like it was thought that like I don't know. At first it was hate you.
You know I never let you live mistakes down.
No, I'm still haunted by Shitsky. It's been like 6 months.
Oh yeah, my favorite thing to do is to bully Emma over various spelling mistakes, and I've just messaged her just Scott Jarvis because apparently he plays hockey now.
Who is Scott Jarvis? Is that a real person? I don't know where my brain is. Why did I say Scott Jarvis? I'm gonna cut this all out. Oh, he's a linguist apparently.
Linguist turned hockey player. Wow, multi-talented.
From oh. He went to BYU.
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh. Interesting.
Anyways, Jacob Trouba's ankle. It was weirdly misreported like early on where it was like he was playing through this injury in the playoffs, but it turns out he wasn't. He just like had this injury the whole like he had suffered the injury back in March and it was like now fine. I don't know how, considering the injury that I'm talking about is the fact that like a chunk of his ankle fell off.
Yeah, no.
Ankle bone.
The thing that baffles me the most is like it was like, oh, skating was possible, but it didn't feel good. And I'm like, no shit. A chunk of your ankle has broken off. That's not, you're not gonna be happily skating around.
But apparently it was fine because it wasn't like a weight supporting bone that it happened to. And I was like, okay, but it's still like if that happened to me, I would be up in bed with like my foot propped up and having people give me things.
Literally, I'd be like, oh guys, this is it. I can see the light. It's been nice knowing you all. I'd be like on my deathbed, like very dramatic. There's no coming back from this. This is it. And he's like, yeah, skating on it didn't feel too good.
Like, no shit. Like that's the thing is like my knee was all bruised from when I went mountain biking with my boyfriend, and I literally spent the weekend on the couch. With like an ice pack on my knee, like this sucks. But yeah, so that was all of the news out of the Rangers camp. I believe. I'm trying to remember. I always feel like I have I think that was everything. Now on to some coaching news. There's been some changes to the Sens coaching staff that have been made. That I'm trying to find yet again. Just go like Sens. I should have had this pulled up. I thought I had this pulled up. But in the meantime, while I find this, I will say congratulations to Daniel Alfredson, who was awarded an honorary doctorate from the University of Ottawa from the Faculty of Health Sciences.
Woo.
So I know that because I follow my own university on Instagram, and that was the free I opened by.
Oh, I always find it really funny when, like, my university, like, I just see posts from my university on Instagram because it's like, yes, I follow them, but also like, that's because I go there. Get off my feed.
Yeah,
I don't want to see it.
So yeah, it was announced that Mike. Oh no, last names.
Oh, Ian last name, my favorite.
Nolan Baumgartner. This is actually embarrassing. I don't know how to say his last name. This is bad. Is it Mike? Yao? Yo?
I don't
Mike Yo?
Yeah, I've just always
you.
Yeah.
Yo.
It's one of those things, I've seen his name written down a billion times, but I've never actually heard
I know,
him.
that's the thing. In the past, like, 2 weeks, I've seen his name everywhere on Twitter.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't.
There was, like, a whole
It's
bunch
like,
of
I don't care
rumors
what
that he would come
the
to
actual
Toronto.
pronunciation is. It's pronounced however my brain has decided the first time I read it.
Which is, and so Mike Yeo and Nolan Baumgartner will join Travis Green's staff as assistant coaches. This like finalizes out the coaching staff for the Sens next season. Daniel Alfredson and Ben Sexton are also assistant coaches. And I believe nothing else changes as well. Yeah, Mike Yeo brings a wealth of experience with 24 years of coaching experience. This is directly from the Ottawa Senators website, by the way. Coaching experience between the AHL and the NHL under his belt. Most recently, Yeo spent the last 2 seasons as assistant coach of the Vancouver Canucks. Prior to that, he was an assistant coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins, winning the Stanley Cup 2009, a head coach with the Minnesota Wild, an associate coach and subsequently head coach with the St. Louis Blues, and an assistant coach with the Philadelphia Flyers, having worked with Claude Giroux from 2019 to 2022.
Brilliant.
Love that. Baumgartner joins the Senators, sparking a reconnection with Senators head coach Travis Green. The two spent 9 seasons together between the Utica Comets and the Vancouver Canucks, with Baumgartner as an assistant coach on Green's staff. Baumgartner has spent the last 2 seasons as an assistant coach with the Manitoba Moose, a team he played 7 seasons over the course of his 17-year professional career across the NHL and AHL. And then there's some fun quotes from Steve Stais and Travis Green, which I'm not going to bother with. So yeah. Some other coaching news. Leafs have hired Lane Lambert as an associate coach, and in doing so have parted ways with Dean Chenoweth, which, like, he was the one that we liked.
He was. I just want to know what's going on in their minds. Like, how have they reached the conclusion that let's get rid of the guy we liked and then just keep everyone else. Well, not keep everyone else, but not get rid of the people who probably should be got rid of.
Yeah. For those who are from Lane, this is not our first time talking about Lane Lambert. He was fired this season, this past season, as the head coach of the New York Islanders, when he got, and then was subsequently replaced by oh my god, my brain is so broken.
You having a bit of a day?
A bit of a day. I'm having a whole massive of a day. I blanked on Patrick Roy's name.
Oh, Emma.
We could have recorded this in the morning, and I can promise you would not have gone any better.
No. Just been one of those.
Yeah. I guess I could read the Leafs little blurb that they've written out for Lane Lambert, but, like, what have they told you that I haven't already said?
Not a lot.
Not a lot. It was really funny. Like, you read through that whole thing, and it's like talking about, like, Lambert's, like, career and things like that. Blah 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 blah. And then right at the bottom, in a single sentence, it says the Maple Leafs also announced assistant coach Dean Chenoweth will not be returning.
Yeah, that'd be like the start of my villain origin. That's like my villain origin story. Oh my god, I can't talk now.
Like, well, Dean, he's been with the Leafs for, like, quite a while.
Yeah.
I think.
Feels like he's been around a while.
Well, 3 years. He's been assistant coach for 3 seasons.
That's a while.
That's still a while.
But no, I'd be like so mad if like they announced that I was being fired in a single sentence at the bottom of like the announcement that of like the
and
guy that
better
was
me because
replacing me.
Lane, well, yeah, replacing me and then some because Lane Lambert is getting added as an associate coach, which
Mm,
I don't think the Leafs have ever had associate coaches.
no. Yeah,
Right?
I don't think so.
Anyways, I'm very unfamiliar with the term associate coach. It feels like, I don't know, it feels like a very newfangled, it feels like a very new thing. I don't know, it probably is not, and there's probably going to be someone who's going to be like, actually, it is a thing that's been around for a very long time. But I don't know, I just feel like it's like, I don't know, maybe it's a new trend now. It's like you can't promote a guy to head coach because you're like your head coach, but like your associate coach is like, hey guys, like I've been here for some time, give me something, and they're like, associate. So I then of course asked Twitter. I was like, I don't know what an associate coach is. Someone explained to me like I'm 5. And shout out to Say, who they came in clutch with this.
Like,
Led they explained it pretty well to me. Essentially, and this is verbatim of what they sent. They said, think of an assistant coach as a helper. Their job is to focus on specific things like teaching players how to shoot puck, how to shoot puck, to shoot the puck accurately or skate faster. They do what the head coach asks and work closely with the players. The associate coach is like the main helper, a right-hand person to the head coach. They not only help with teaching, but also make bigger decisions and can take over if the head coach is not there. They have a bit more power and responsibility than the assistant coach. So like associate coach is more like a second boss. Thank you, Say, for that lovely explanation. That actually is quite helpful. So it's
I think more people should just start explaining stuff like we're 5, because it's like, would I be able to understand a more complicated explanation? Yes. Is it a lot easier to just be told associate coach is slightly smaller big boss?
yeah.
That's all
Makes
you need.
sense. I mean, also as well, like I don't know what this means in terms of like how beliefs will work in that way. I don't know. It's never really been a dynamic that I've witnessed firsthand, like watching a team, because I don't think the Leafs have ever had an associate coach, if I'm not mistaken. Like I don't remember one. So
So if they have had an associate coach, it's been a while.
it's been, yeah. it's been long enough that like I haven't paid attention to like the actual titles given to assistant coaches. But yeah, I think another one to talk about is, I guess we could talk about some jersey stuff. I realize this kind of all falls into like a couple of main categories. We have some jersey stuff, some big news that I guess I don't know if you've seen this. You should have seen it because I sent it to you. This is via Icethetics on Twitter, who is like essentially the biggest like jersey insider. But the LA Kings and the Anaheim Ducks will have new uniforms and new primary logos next season. Both should be out by the NHL draft, so we'll find out by the end of the month what they look like. Apparently he got to look at both logos and can say that Ducks is a modernized version of the Mighty Ducks logo in orange, black, and gold. And the LA Kings logo is a modernized version of the Gretzky era logo in black and silver with a new crown design inside. Haven't seen jerseys yet. But have seen the logos. We are bringing back the Mighty Ducks branding. This is something that people have been asking for since what? 2005? I think is when they made
Yeah,
the
it's
switch. They
been
made the switch before they won the cup because they won the cup in 07 in those ugly,
ugly
ugly ass
jerseys.
jerseys.
Oh, I'm so
We are sticking with the orange theme, which is unfortunate because you guys, like, I am such a big fan of purple and teal in hockey, in sports jerseys. I think the downfall of the NHL was caused
purple and
by the loss of
teal.
the purple LA Kings jersey and the purple Ducks jersey, and what other team had purple going on at one point and then lost it. There's been quite a few,
The purple
but
Ducks jerseys were genuinely the best things I've ever set eyes on. Like, I love them so much.
the ones from this season, like their whatever 30th anniversary ones.
I like that. Yeah, I liked, yeah. It just kind
I
of reminded me
really
of the
like
Starbucks logo.
Well, I really liked those ones a lot. And because I did tell you, I was like, if JB Drysdale didn't get traded, I probably would have bought his jersey in that one. Because he was like, it's one of the very few Ducks players that I would actually ever consider buying a jersey of. Now he's in Philadelphia. Which we'll talk about Ducks in Philadelphia. Actually, there's another story I wanted to talk to you about. But yeah, and also like the LA Kings, like that Gretzky era of jerseys.
Oh, just incredible.
They're gorgeous. Those were gorgeous jerseys. If I go Gretzky, yeah, those were gorgeous jerseys. Like with the now I'm assuming they're not talking about the Burger King logo. You know which one I'm talking about? The Burger King LA Kings jersey. The one where it's like the silver shield. Because I think the LA Kings, like, they modernized their logo and it just didn't look as cool.
Yeah, it's you see, this is where last summer's when I spent a week straight making and like writing up a history of every single team's jerseys. This is where it comes in handy because I can go look at the
You
Kings
did what?
No, I've told you about this.
No, you haven't told me about this. Oh my god! Between this and the spreadsheets and the fact that you wrote down every single Leafs lineup last season.
Well, yeah, because I wanted to be able to like.
And here I was searching David Alter tweets like an idiot, where I could have just asked you, like, "Hey, what was the lineup for this day?" And you would have been able to flip through a notebook and told me.
Yeah. I mean, in all fairness, I thought I'd lost the notebook, but then I found it again.
And here I was searching up David Alter tweets like an idiot.
No, you just have to come to me.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god. So like when Morgan Riley got suspended and I was going through I was searching up David Alter tweets trying to find the D pairs from those games where he was injured last year. You're telling me you had them the entire time?
Well, yeah, because I did the PowerPoint.
Wait, you even outside of the notebook you had those D pairs?
Yeah, because I made the big PowerPoint with like the lineup and the stats.
And you still let me go through all that work?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, do you know how long that took me to find? Do you know how much work it was to come up with those from when he was hurt last season? And I had to find the D pairs, and I was like, oh yeah, Justin Hall, Mark Giordano, top D pair. Oh, you could have just told me.
But you knew about the PowerPoint because you witnessed me make it because I was complaining because Canva caps you at 200 PowerPoint slides. So I had to start a second one and then merge them.
Yeah, but I didn't know that you were going to have the lineup for every single game.
Mm.
You only just told me that it was like 300 slides. I thought it was just like 300 lines of like stuff, not like 300 lines of like 82 games worth of lines too.
No, it was the
You
lines.
never offered up that information.
I did. I made everyone aware of the fact that I had the PowerPoint when I made it.
I was talking to you. I think I did it on the podcast. And I was finding it increasingly frustrating. We have footage of me doing this. And you didn't say anything.
In all fairness, it kind of slipped my mind.
Kind of slipped my mind that I had all 82 lineup charts drawn up.
Well, okay. In my defense, I didn't know where the notebook was. And like.
But you knew where the PowerPoint was.
Yeah, but I forgot I'd done it. I forgot I had the
How
PowerPoint.
can you forget that?
Because, like, I've not thought about it since I finished it. Anyways, I hope everyone's looking forward to this season's one that I'm gonna spend a week making soon enough.
And then not tell me about it. And then
well, now you know.
Next season. And then next season, when I'm like trying to look back at when like a player missed a significant chunk of games, and I'm like, I wonder like how they reshuffled the lines or the D pairs or whatever. And I spend, 10 minutes on the podcast looking up old David Alter tweets, trying to look for lineup charts. You're just gonna sit there and be like, say nothing again?
No, I'll probably say something this time. Look, I forgot I'd done the PowerPoint. Okay.
I forgot I'd done the PowerPoint.
Well, okay, but like, I get that you wouldn't forget you'd done the PowerPoint if you'd done it, but I am like actually insane with this stuff, so I will dedicate a week of my life to doing with something like this, and then I'll forget about it.
Meanwhile, there's me who remembers I remember every PowerPoint I've ever made. I once made a PowerPoint about how you can link back any animated movie to someone who was in Shrek 2.
Ooh.
That's what I once did. I still remember it. I did it back in high school. I did it like 4 years ago.
Wow.
And you're telling me you forgot a 300 slide PowerPoint about the Leafs' entire season that had lineup charts in it?
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
I need to actually track it down because I don't know where it's gone.
You don't know where it is?
I'm like, it'll be in my Canva somewhere.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, yeah, I am really excited for these LA Kings and Anaheim because, like, when it comes to old logos, underratedly, that old Kings logo is really great. I think it's better than their current one, and I think also as well, hopefully that means we get rid of like the chrome domes. Like the chrome helmets.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just tracking down the PowerPoint and I found it.
You're not listening to what I'm saying about the LA Kings sexy
I am
logo.
I am agreeing with you.
But yeah, and then also Anaheim, the Mighty Ducks logo is just like so great. And they did it with a reverse retro. They brought it back. And they did it with those orange, gold, and white, whatever, that colorway that they have now on their current jerseys. And like, I was never ever like that mad about that colorway. I was just mad about the stupid D logo. I thought it looked dumb.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's a duck's foot. I'm like, that is not at all like cool. The Mighty Ducks, especially because it's like, it's not like they've totally separated themselves from like the Mighty Ducks branding, which of course is like Disney affiliated. Like Wild Wing is still their mascot, right?
Yeah.
So they still like have that and they still use it in other jerseys and things like that. So I don't know. I know that's why they changed the logos, because like they were stepping away from the Disney branding, because that's the reason that team exists in the first place, which is crazy to think about all the time.
It's insane.
But some other I guess jersey / like team name news. There was some trademarks filed for some Utah team logos, which is the main color being used in these is powder blue. I think they look stupid.
Yeah. I'm not
It's like
I'm not a fan.
so it's just like the thing is they look like something you would make for like beer league.
Yeah. They just look like it's just
This
like,
one specifically looks really beer league.
yeah,
But like the circle one.
mm,
I don't know. I know these are like, anyways, I think they look dumb. My opinion. I think we have enough blue in the NHL, even though it's like this powder blue color. I think like mix it up.
yeah, give it like they could have gone with like a Barbie pink. That would have been cool.
That would have been cool.
Did they ever think about that? No.
Yeah, but so also as well that it is down to 6 nicknames. These are the 6 because there's like a vote, right? And then after the first round of voting, there's now the second round of voting that starts. Where they've narrowed it down to 6 names. They've got Blizzard Hockey Club or Utah HC, which I'm sorry, just sounds like a soccer team. Mammoth, Outlaws, Venom, or Yeti. Still out of this list, Outlaws is my favorite one.
Outlaws is personal favorite.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it before how Outlaws is just like so cool. You can go so many cool ways with the colors, with the art, with the mascot, with like the logo and the branding and everything. Like there's so many more potentials there.
Yeah.
It's like cool. I don't know, you can have like some horses, work some horses into there. Horses are cool.
We could have
And
had
like
so much.
I don't know, but like outside of like I guess like Venom too. Like that's pretty like
I don't like Venom.
aggressive. But like I don't like Venom. Venom to
No.
me sounds like a basketball team.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like cooking, I'm like, Venom's too basketball-y.
Like that'd be for a WNBA team,
Ooh.
Venom would go hard.
Mm.
Toronto WNBA team, take note. Toronto Venom.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
They should hire us.
They should so hire us.
But as much as I love mammoths, and I think they could do something really cool with like a mammoth mascot.
But okay, but mammoth is singular.
Sounds, yeah,
mammoth is singular.
So stupid.
If you go mammoths, that's cooler.
Yeah.
But also
mammoth
like the
works more. Utah mammoth.
That just no, because mammoth, like when you don't like when it's in terms of it's like a nickname for a team, if you don't put the plural there, it just sounds like mammoth as in like the adjective. The adjective.
Literally, it's just
Took me 3 attempts to say that word. Jesus Christ.
yeah, it's I don't like it. Mammoths, I'd like more, but I still don't like it for a hockey team.
I don't know, Blizzard, like sure, I guess. I don't know. Like I know Utah gets snow, right? And I know like Salt Lake City gets snow and things like that. They've hosted the Olympics before. There's a bunch of skiing there. I don't know. I just like Blizzard and Yeti to me are too close in the same vein as Avalanche.
Yeah, and then it's like because it's like you have the problem of like if you go with Blizzard, the logo thing's kind of limited.
What are you gonna do? A massive snowflake?
Just gonna have like a bunch of little snowflakes.
Clouds, like I don't know, like Blizzard. Because the other thing too, as well, is like especially Yeti as well. Like there is already like a Yeti foot that is worked into the Colorado Avalanches, like their branding. It's it's a secondary logo for them. There is merch and hats, and I think it's on their jerseys as well, like that foot thing, right? So you can't do, like, I don't know. It's just, that's the thing where I'm like, out of these 6, Outlaws is the coolest. It's the most unique from like other teams in the NHL, which I think you can also do the most with it creatively, and like you're never gonna get the Kachina. Like people are always gonna be upset about losing the Kachina.
Yeah.
In the NHL. Like that's such a good logo. The branding of the Arizona Coyotes is so cool. They had like really unique colors with the black and the maroon. And like even then when they worked the purple back into the reverse retros, I think it was last season.
I loved the reverse retros so much.
Those were hot. Those were hot jerseys. Like even this season. They were
sexy jerseys.
Even this season with like the black and then the maroon, hot jerseys. Hot jerseys. And like, I don't know, Outlaws to me is the only one where I can see you going anywhere with like, and like making like a sexy jersey. Can we bring back, and I think this ties back into what we were talking about with the Kings and the Ducks, sexy jerseys.
Yeah, bring back sexy jerseys.
Bring back sexy jerseys.
Start a movement.
So we will start a movement. I'll start that hashtag when this episode goes out. Hashtag bring back sexy jerseys. What is Gary Bettman doing to bring back sexy jerseys in this country?
Asking the real questions.
I guess now we also have some TV news. A little teaser trailer was released this morning about the NHL Prime series. It is untitled at the moment, but it currently has not currently, but it is from the same producers as Drive to Survive, Full Swing, and Breakpoint on Netflix, which I've watched all of Drive to Survive, unfortunately. I've watched Full Swing as well. Not so much, unfortunately. That one was a fun watch, mostly because I watched it with my parents. And I tried to watch Breakpoint, and I just couldn't do it because I don't have like that crazy amount of interest in tennis. But it will feature in-depth interviews and behind-the-scenes access to Oilers, McDavid and Draisaitl, and then of course Matthew Tkachuk from Florida Panthers, and it will follow them through the Stanley Cup final. But then it also will provide access to behind-the-scenes looks at Rangers Jacob Trouba, Bruins players Pasternak and Swayman, Quinn Hughes from the Canucks, Jack Eichel from the Golden Knights, William Nylander from the Leafs, Preds forward Philip Forsberg, and provide behind the scenes to Gabriel Landeskog's lengthy rehab from injury. So that's cool.
So excited.
I'm so excited. There are so many things I want to talk about from that like really quick trailer that provided us a lot of access. I think it's like it's cool. You know, some of the guys that they got were like pretty expected. You know, like McDavid and Draisaitl, like Pasternak, Tkachuk. Forsberg to me was a surprise. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool they got Philip Forsberg. I think he's probably a really interesting guy. I just never would have seen him getting chosen above certain other guys in the Central.
Yeah.
There are some players in the Central who I would have thought they would. Maybe they approached those players and those players said no, so then they're just moving down their list, and Philip Forsberg was like the first guy to say yes off of that list of guys in the Central. But I'm actually really happy about that.
Yeah.
So, I think it's cool.
I'm just like, I am
excited. I'm excited. We will see like based on the trailer, it seems like we'll get a little bit of an insight into Nylander's migraines that he experienced during the playoffs. Dude, those 2 clips that they showed of him watching the Leafs playoff games and him not playing in them, I was like, oh, okay. So good to know we all go through the same emotions.
Yeah, I sat and I was like, God, that really just looks like me at 3 a.m. watching the Leafs lose.
If you recorded when we would sit on FaceTime and watch the Leaf games together, that's exactly what we looked like.
Like, just us sat there, head in hands, just like.
But I do think it's great that we're seeing some insight into like that part of Nylander's season, like, you know, him having to miss games because of his migraines and things like that. I will say though, the fact that we've had 2 Amazon Prime series that follow the Leafs in some capacity, and I have to watch them get eliminated from the playoffs in the first round twice.
Once.
I still have not finished All or Nothing. I still have never watched All or Nothing all the way through. Like, no, I think I've gone in and I've watched maybe like a couple of scenes to pick out clips from that like I've watched last episode leading up to Game 7.
Oh wow.
And then I've gone in maybe once or twice to pick out clips for like edits and stuff. But like I've never like fully watched the end. And it's been like 3 years.
One day.
But yeah, some other guys like Landeskog is cool, like to see like that side of like returning from an injury. I know some people were like, why don't they pick a player? And like, yeah, but I think though they will have like, looking at these guys, there will like, what people don't realize, and you have to realize that this is coming from like the same people who did Drive to Survive. So like, I am very nervous there's somehow going to be like some weirdly constructed, like forced rivalry between like, I don't know, Eichel and Forsberg. I don't think those guys like hate each other, like something like that.
They don't hate each other now, but well, they will do soon enough.
Like that's the thing with Drive to Survive. It's like there's always some things that are taken like wildly out of context, in terms of like, in terms of like scenes, or like there'll be like radio or commentary that's taken like out of context and like clipped with another thing, so like the radio message from the drivers doesn't line up to like the actual race it was taken from. And so it's gonna like, first, like, you know, I don't know, especially when they cover like, you know, there will be some parts that I'll be like, oh, like I don't really know any difference because it's hard to watch every single NHL game in a season. We get like over 1,000. Right? But it's like for the Leaf stuff, I'm gonna be like, okay, I watched I think basically all 82 games. I know you came very close to.
I genuinely, I think I might have missed one game, and then there were games that were on like really
the West Coast, the West Coast.
But it's like, even then, I said I wasn't gonna watch them, and I still did. Because I was like, oh, I'll just watch the first. I'll watch the first, and then
you're halfway through the third. You're halfway through the third.
But I think I've watched all but one game, at least a third. Like, I've watched pretty much every single Leafs game this season, and it has destroyed my sleep schedule completely and entirely. And I will never get peace again.
I'm trying to think of like which Leafs game I missed. I think I've watched all of them. So I have like crazy notes for each one. I don't think I've ever missed one. Because I do remember there will be like, I'll be at like a social gathering and I'll have the Leafs game on.
Yeah. And it's like, you're still just like, yeah, I'm still watching.
The Penguins game where the Leafs won like 7-0 or whatever this season. I had that game open on my phone. I was at a friend's Christmas party at like their apartment, and I literally had it open like on my phone, and I was watching it.
Oh. I mean, as you should.
But I was like, right. So I will say this is gonna be like it's gonna be interesting. I know a lot of people were like really judgmental about the fact that like I don't know. I know a lot of people were like, why isn't like Seth Jarvis in this? Maybe he said no. Who knows? Or maybe, you know, like it is pretty even among the about among the different conferences divisions. I don't want to say not conferences, divisions. Like I don't know. I would have liked maybe a little bit more variety in teams, but can't have it all. There's going to be another like I don't know. Maybe there's another season and they follow like a different batch of guys.
Yeah, that'd be good to like have just like different people.
Yeah, there isn't a lot. No, there's only one from the Metro though. Like Jacob True was the only guy from the Metro. But like who knows, like, you know, next year they like cycle through and they'll do a couple other guys. And I think that's what's cool about this sort of thing is like each season you can follow different guys, but like we're still gonna see like player like I don't know. I'm excited for like the possible like Joseph Wool crumbs we're gonna get.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna sit there just like eyes right at the screen, just like, where is he?
Like when you get like that one part where he's there for like a split second in the background.
I found
him. Well, we are like scarily good at spotting him. But I don't know. I think it's great for the sport in terms of growing the game like outside of its market, you know, to see what like Drive to Survive did a huge thing for Formula One. It you know, boosted the growth of the series like I don't want to say exponentially, but quite a bit. And so, you know, this is a potential to like reach new markets outside of like the little bubble because it will be very similar to like what some teams do them like already do and giving behind the scenes look into the team, but like this will put it on a platform that's much more visible to people who may not be hockey fans.
Yeah, literally, like even I watched like 2 episodes of Drive to Survive before I then forgot that I'd started watching it. But I was interested for 2 episodes, which is a big thing for me.
You lasted longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah, and you know what? I found it very interesting. And if I had the attention span to like fully get into a completely different sport, then I would. However, hockey takes up too much of my life.
It's at 2 different times of the year too. This is why we need to get you into IndyCar.
Yeah, and I will at some point.
The seasons don't very much in overlap. There's a little bit of overlap, obviously, with the playoffs and stuff, but like not as much. Usually season's over by like mid-September. Just in time for NHL training camps. So
perfect timing.
Perfect timing. But also some other news as well. And maybe they were feeling a little sad to be left out, but the Montreal Canadiens also announced that they will be having a series with Crave. It'll be on Crave. It'll be 8 episodes, 1-hour episodes, where it'll be behind the scenes of their season this year, providing in-depth look into everything. Cool. I think that's cool. It's going to provide some stuff. It's going to be presented both in French and in English, which is very, very obvious for the fact that it's a series about the Montreal Canadiens specifically. It's going to be called The Rebuild Inside the Montreal Canadiens, produced by Fair Play in collaboration with Bell Media and directed by André St-Pierre. Narration will be performed by Marc-André Condin in French and George Stroumboulopoulos in English. which means nothing to you, but means a lot to me. And you
Yeah,
are
I'm
very
not gonna lie, when you said that, I was sat and I was like, is that someone that I should know? And I'm like,
George Stroumboulopoulos, George Stroumboulopoulos. That is his real last name. I
that is
you
a
not.
solid last name.
He was anchoring Hockey Night in Canada when Rogers Media took over from CBC, and he had his own talk show on CBC. He also was a VJ for Much Music. He's like a big like Canadian media personality.
Mm. Kind of like Alison Hammond for us, I guess.
Yeah. Just like someone who's had like a bajillion shows.
Love that.
And then Marc-André Grandin from Goon.
Oh!
Xavier Laflamme from Goon.
I thought I recognized
Probably the only French one in Goon. He's the only, right? He's the only.
I was like, I recognize the name, but I don't know where from. And now I know where from.
Yeah.
I need to watch Goon again, actually.
Yeah. The the only like. Anyway, yeah, the token Quebecois in the hockey movie. You got to have one every single time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so cool stuff. That'll be cool. I think I'll watch that. The only thing I will say is like that's very specifically going to be. It's an interesting choice that it's on Crave. I think it's partially because I believe Crave is owned by Bell. Yes, it is. I believe Crave is owned. Is Crave? Yeah, it's owned by Bell. So that is why it's on Crave, because I was gonna say like Crave is, if you want like your TV show to reach outside of like the Canadian market, don't put it on Crave only, because Crave is like very much like it's only available in Canada. It's how we get like all of our HBO. It's like how we watch HBO shows is on Crave in Canada. But like to give a little bit of fun little insight into Canadian media and Canadian media and like the landscape of it. Bell and Rogers are like the two main players in the private space. Rogers owns like Sportsnet, Bell owns TSN. Rogers also owns the Blue Jays. Both Rogers and Bell are part owners in the Toronto Maple Leafs. Fun fact. Which I'm sure a lot of people who did not know that are like, wait, so then the people who are supposed to cover the team work for the same company that also owns part of the team? Yes, that's just what Canadian media and entertainment and sports, it just is like a huge conglomeration of that. But and Bell has part ownership in the Canadian. So it makes sense that the Habs, if they were to do that, they would partner it with Bell, and so then it would go on Crave. But like that'd be such a cool thing to reach outside of the Canadian market, right? Because I don't know, it's just like how you reach more fans outside of Canada, and it's how you can grow the sport. But like the only people who are gonna watch that are gonna be like Canadians. So like it'll be like Habs fans and like me, who's like actually pretty curious and that sort of thing. But it's cool. It's still really cool that it's like, I think it's going to follow very similarly to like All or Nothing, like the Leafs did when the Leafs did All or Nothing, but I don't know, it's cool.
It is. It'll be
Paul
exciting.
Caulfield's will get his little moments on camera. But yeah, I don't know, some fun little TV news, I guess.
Fun little TV news.
Fun little TV news. Yeah. Oh yes, and then there was one more rumor I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the Trevor Zegras thing.
Yeah. Where will Trevor Zegras end up?
Well, not maybe, there's been some rumors that the Ducks are listening to trade proposals for Trevor Zegras, and some of the teams in the mix apparently rumored is Montreal, Philadelphia, and Calgary, and the Ottawa Senators have expressed interest in Trevor Zegras, which could just basically mean be like, hey, dude, what's the price? Or it could be as much as like, hey, this is what we're willing to offer you. What are you willing to offer? Like a little bit more in depth, but like, I'm sorry. If Trevor Zegras gets traded to Ottawa and there is a chance where I have to run into this man regularly on like a night out.
Oh, that's terrifying. I'm sure I've just never like go outside.
I will never leave my apartment. Ever.
But Emma, you could become besties with Trevor Zegras.
I'd rather die. I'd rather not. And this is nothing against it. This is everything against like
Zegras, you can become besties with Dixie D'Amelio.
Why would I want that either? And I don't hate them as people. I just like don't think we would get along. Also, would Dixie D'Amelio move to Ottawa?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, exactly. Would she do that?
I wouldn't. No offense.
Wow. Okay. Not even for me?
Oh no, for you I would. But like, our relationship is not like Dixie and Trevor's.
We're not actually dating.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. My boyfriend listens to the show.
Hey, Simon. You can just ignore that. Nothing to see here.
But yeah, I don't know. Or like, I guess like interesting that, Philadelphia expressed interest. Absolutely. I would laugh though.
That would be quite funny.
Could you imagine like Trevor Zegras in Montreal though? Wait, what side does he play?
That'd be.
What side? Oh, well. He plays. Does he always play center?
I don't know why I have it in my head that he's left wing. That might just be me making it up.
Because he shoots left. Because Nick Suzuki's also a center. He shoots right. I was thinking like you could put together some like freak ass PowerPoint line. Not PowerPoint. Jesus Christ. Freak ass power play line.
My PowerPoint's he's still thinking about it.
Apparently so. Some freak ass power play line of like Suzuki, Caulfield, and Zegras. And then like what's a big shot defenseman on the Habs? Who is a defenseman on the Montreal Canadiens? Who is on their defense? No, I want their like roster, not their website. Give me their. No. Oh, I keep forgetting Arbor Xhekaj is a defenseman, but like he has a big shot, right? He's a big shot, right?
Yeah.
Like a I don't know. Send out that power play line.
No, that'd
just
be
evil. Just evil.
That'd be fun to watch.
That'd be really fun. I don't know, but like, I don't know what like the packages those teams that I like listed out would have for Trevor Seagrass.
Mm.
I also though like if if um if Trevor like if the Ducks trade Trevor Zegras, then like I would have to genuinely question what direction this team is going.
No, like, because in the nicest way possible, if the Ducks trade Trevor Zegras, like, what are they?
What is the identity of this team? Genuinely, because it's like people could be like, oh well, they have Cutter Gauthier now. Like, sure, but like they didn't have him 6 months ago,
Mm,
right?
yeah,
When we started this podcast, they did not, right? Like that's,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Like, it's
I
not
think
been very long.
it has not been very long. And so it's like to change, like to divert so quickly from like where everyone thought you were going to go with this organization in like the span of half a season is crazy. It's a crazy concept to me that I like that I just don't understand like where you're going to build off from this, because what they're picking third this year, right?
Yeah.
Are they third? Because it's
Yeah.
what Sharks, Blackhawks, Ducks.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm questioning myself now.
Why am I looking up the draft order? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, it is. And I was like, is it?
I know. I even questioned myself because I read somewhere that they were picking third, but like, so you're picking third. That's still a good pick, right?
Mm.
And this draft does seem to have some really, it seems to be a pretty decent draft.
Mm.
So like, but like at the same time, like, where? You have to bolster your blue line.
Mm.
Like your goaltending seems to be pretty locked though, like just in the performances from Dostal, like he seems to be like your piece for the future there, right? Like his season performance, considering the team he played on, and then also his amazing performance at Worlds.
Insane.
So like that has to be your guy that you keep there. But like your blue line needs work. Didn't get any better after the deadline. In fact, it got worse through the season.
Yep.
And you've got like 3 centers now that could all play first line center.
It's. I just want to know what they're thinking. Like, what is going through their mind?
I don't know. Anaheim just confuses me. Like I never understood any decisions they made this season.
No, they were just like, everything they did seemed to just baffle me.
Yeah.
I was just like, why have you done that? Why?
And like in the way that we say that like Carolina is a very exciting team to watch this offseason. I think Anaheim, you could say the same thing about Anaheim, but in a different way.
Yeah.
And not so much this offseason. I think in the next like 2 to 3 years, I'd be very interested to watch like what their next like 2 to 3 year plan is.
It'll be. Yeah, I'm quite excited to just see what happens with them. Because at the moment, it kind of just seems like they've got absolutely no direction, and they're just kind of there existing as a team.
Yeah, I don't. And like the thing is, it's like you have like a pretty not like I don't want to say not so criticizing of a fan base. But like I don't know, a lot of the talk I see from fans, like from Ducks fans online, is like not as cutthroat,
Yeah.
as you would see from other teams who are not doing so well, right?
Mm.
Or not quite, I don't know if like meeting expectations is the right thing to say.
Yeah. Mm.
Haven't been in the playoffs for some time.
That's a good way to put it.
But it's like you can't rely on the goodwill of your fans for so long. Like there's gonna be a point where they're gonna like want to be good.
Mm.
And I don't know, it just like because other teams like you can kind of see in the direction that they're moving, you know,
Yeah.
in terms of having a plan. And Anaheim seems like what you do when you're like playing like Chell and you're like, I just want all of my favorite guys on my team, and then I'll play on rookie mode and I'll just play like, and because I'm so good at Chell, I'll play like, and I'll be able to beat the computer on like rookie mode and win myself a Stanley Cup.
Yeah. It's just like,
Wait,
wow. Well done.
that's what this roster is built like.
No, literally, it's like, it feels like, those people who are like they're on your course. You see them turn up to one lecture with like no bag, no pens, no paper, no laptop, and like
They
an
roll up and
energy
they
drink.
sit there.
They show up with an energy drink, probably still drunk from the night before, sit there, disappear, and you never hear from them again. Like that's the vibe that the Ducks have right now.
Yeah, I was also I was gonna like compare the Ducks, like the way that they're built, at least in like the players that they have, and like these, it's built like a fantasy roster where like you just have to have a certain amount of forwards and it doesn't matter how many of them are centers.
Mm. Yeah.
Like I think my fantasy roster had like, I think all of my defensemen were righty.
Yeah, it's just like there's no variety. It's just as long as you've got the players.
Yeah. It's like as long as you have whatever, like how many, we played with what, 6 defensemen this season in our league?
Mm.
Right? As long as, but that's what I mean. Like that's
Yeah,
how it's
it's like
built.
you need 6 defensemen. You
It
better
doesn't
find
matter what
them.
side they play.
Oh
Like,
dear.
can I go back and like look? Can I still look at my fantasy hockey roster?
I don't know.
My championship winning fantasy
Oh,
hockey roster. Championship winning.
oh. Well, I didn't lose. Oh my god, it signed me out. No.
Yeah, no, my team has about 2 centers. The rest of them are wingers in my forward group.
Yeah.
I have 2 centers. I've Kreider and Draisaitl.
Mhm.
Every other forward I have is a center, is a winger.
Oh dear.
But like that's what it is. That's exactly how the Anaheim Ducks are built.
Mm. Just pure questionable
Three first
vibe.
line centers. Because
Yeah,
that's
sure,
how it should
why
work.
not?
Why not? And it's
And then
not
just
even
those
like
random
guys
players,
who,
it doesn't matter
it's
how
not
bad
even
they are, you can't drop them.
Hey, look, Ovechkin turned his season around. I
Yeah.
still won. It doesn't matter if you lose the first 2 weeks. If you win in the playoffs, that's all that matters.
Oh dear.
But like, I don't know, like, because it's not like the guys that they do have, it's not even like it's like It's not even like it's guys who are like can play both left wing and center. It's like they're naturally like they're natural centers. Like Mason McTavish is a natural center.
Yeah.
Trevor Zegras is a natural center. Cutter Gauthier is a natural center. I guess the only guy that you have a little bit of flexibility that can play like wing and center is Leo Carlson. But like you also have a center in Frank Vetrano. Ryan Strome is another center. Alex Killer. And oh my God, why are these guys all centers? And these are the only ones who are still on the roster. It's giving me only like 8 guys. Because it's like the guys who they still have on either like the hockey DB one. Actually, no, I want hockey reference, not hockey DB. But it's just like,
yeah, I just want to know what's going on with them, to be honest.
yeah, me too. You've got because I forgot they traded away Adam Henry to, but it's like,
Oh my God, they did.
I forgot they did that. But it's like you look at their. They've got a handful of guys on here who are listed as solely wingers, and every other like.
Yeah.
Why did we go from William Lagesson to Ilya Lyubushkin? Why did we do that? I'm just looking at that now. That's what we did. Essentially.
Why?
Jesus. Anyways, with that being said, I don't know if you have anything else to add. We managed to get an hour and a half, almost.
We did, which is impressive. Well done, us.
I didn't think we were going to do that
No.
with the things we could have talked about after Monday's episode. But luckily, there was enough hockey news that took place, despite there being no games played. Who is excited for when there's no hockey? Okay, luckily, like the turnaround from the end of the Stanley Cup final to like the start of the draft and free agency is pretty quick, and we have some people we would want to have on the show, and we have some other things planned. So we'll be fine. I'm just like,
we'll be fine.
We'll be fine. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for listening. I don't know if you have anything else to add before I do my little fun little outro part, but
I don't think I do. Take it away, Emma.
I'm gonna try not to do this in one breath this time. I'm gonna remember to breathe. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back on Monday with another fantastic episode. You can find the podcast wherever you get your podcast, or you can follow us on Twitter, or you can follow the show on Twitter. This is falling apart quickly. You can follow the show on Twitter at From the Fourth Line. That's fourth, the number 4TH. You can follow Marcie on Twitter at 60leafs. You can follow myself on Twitter at Parab1. And that is all for now. Thank you so much for listening. And bye-bye.
Bye.